Hey everyone, welcome to a new episode of Games I Speak. I'm Gio,
And I'm Josie.
and it's been quite a while, hasn't it?
It's been a second. Yeah.
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 So
A lot of life stuff.
yes, a lot of life stuff. Everyone will notice that the surroundings have changed.
For the better.
Oh yeah. And actually, I can do a tour of this later for everyone. Um, but essentially, I moved, so we had to put the show on hiatus. And it wasn't so much like uh, I moved like far, but my whole setup changed. And
Yeah, moves are involved.
yeah, yeah. And so I needed time to kind of set this up. Now, I'm not sure that this is going to be the final setup for the show, but it's actually not bad,
No,
actually. Yeah.
not bad at all. It's very comfy and well lit,
Yeah. So,
especially the couch.
yeah. Now, since it's been a while, what was the one story since since the break that you know kind of was like the most important to you
Shoot,
over all this time?
you're putting me on the spot, man. I
I know.
can't. I can't really recall much. I guess the outcome of the Apple versus Epic fight.
Okay, so
That one was kind of big.
can you give us like a synopsis of that?
Well, Apple or Epic sued Apple for claiming monopoly over their monetary practices through the App Store. There is a pretty substantial charge of, like, I believe, 30% on any kind of transactions that occur via any kind of application within the App Store. And Apple countersued that, Epic willingly broke or breached their contract because they were trying to circumvent those rules by having access to a third-party transaction
Within the game.
within the game. Exactly.
Yeah.
So it's oddly enough because it feels like it hasn't been that long.
It hasn't. It's only been
So
like
so
6
it's
months.
been solved pretty quickly. In general, and I don't know the exact details, but in general, Apple has been found to not hold a monopoly. That it is the choice of a developer to sell an application on the App Store, but against Apple, they did say that it isn't a breach in order to have a third party transaction ability for
Okay.
developers.
Okay.
So that way, we're going to be seeing a lot of larger developers, especially like Epic, involve those third party transactions.
Okay.
So that they can circumvent any kind of extra payment to give to Apple. So that was huge. I mean, they have to pay a certain amount because Apple did win.
Okay.
Yeah, I believe 20 to 30 million, but that's a drop in the bucket compared to how much money they get.
Yeah, and it's
For
also
Fortnite.
a drop in the bucket for the potential for developers moving forward.
Exactly. So it's a big
Yeah.
blow to Apple, actually.
It is. Yeah.
Yeah.
But-
So
So what do you agree with that judgment?
it sounds real fair, actually. It does.
Yeah.
I think the 30% initial and also any future sales of the application itself off of the store is okay. But in application transactions that may occur via a third party, I think that's fair. They shouldn't be selling these extra, what's it called? Extra royalties
Yeah.
to Apple. I don't think
Yeah.
Apple has ownership over that.
And also
They're already getting their fair share.
yes, and if you look at also you have to look at costs incurred, right?
Mm-hmm.
If you're using Apple's system to sell your stuff, then they should get a cut because they're running all the servers and paying all the tech fees, right?
Yes.
The tech costs.
Yes.
But if you're running your own third-party system, you're incurring the tech costs, so you should get the money. So yeah, I think it's a fair medium. Apple wins the lawsuit; they get compensated for that time. But moving forward, developers have more freedom to make money.
Yes.
So yeah, it's going to be interesting to see. Now you're going to have to keep us updated because you actually have an iPhone. I do.
I
not.
do. Yeah.
So I'm not.
We're looking at it right now.
Yeah, I'm not really, going to be able to see the impact of it. But also, we have a guest today.
Yeah.
Toby.
I don't think he's been introduced.
Yeah, he he's been around the whole time. You just couldn't see him. He's been on the ground. But yeah, he's my cockapoo dog, and he's cool.
He's very cool. He's very
cool.
chill.
Yeah, so he's joining us today.
But how about yourself? Any big news articles in that hiatus that kind of caught your eye?
Yeah, so we're actually the first story is related to that, but the biggest one was China cracking down on gaming for their younger gamers.
Oh, the time limit?
Yes, 3 hours a week, which
Yes.
is insane.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Especially with an MMO. Like, what am I going to do? Log on?
Yeah, you're gonna log on, try to get a party, and then it's gonna be done.
exactly. Oh, there
Looking
it goes.
for group.
Next
Looking for
week.
group. Yeah. So it's that one really bothered me because
That's unfortunate.
but it also made me appreciate our country because
And the freedoms that we have.
yeah, like look, I complain about things in our country, we all do. But at the end of the day,
Nothing's perfect.
nothing's perfect. But at the end of the day, the amount of freedom we have is vastly superior to China. And I feel bad for a lot of the Chinese gamers. I really do. But so let's get into the next evolution. So first they attacked gaming, saying it creates like loose morals and stuff like that. And they limit it to 3 hours a week. Now they're going on another attack. So let's look at that.
Oh.
All right. China calls for less effeminate men in video games.
I actually heard about this.
Yeah.
And
yeah.
isn't this actually? It's not just limited to video games, though, right? I think it's across all media.
Yeah, like so this article only goes into
Focuses
games.
on that? Okay.
So I'm not sure, but it would make sense that they would focus on music and movie and
Yes.
all media.
Yes.
But
okay.
let's take a look at it. So essentially what happened was I already went over what happened initially. They cut down gaming, and for those that don't know, this was something they had done for a while. But the amount of time gamers could play before was around it was a lot longer. It was like 8 to 10 hours a week or something like that. So now they're going on the offensive for effeminate gaming characters. So let's scroll down here.
It's just their method of trying to quell any kind of LGBT representation.
So the authorities ordered the enterprise and platforms to tighten examination of the contents of their games. A separate report on english.gov.cn, which I didn't even know this site existed. I'm going to keep an eye on this. The official English language version of the State Council of the People's Republic of China. I'll look for gaming news on there from moving forward. Obscene and violent content and those breeding unhealthy tendencies, such as money worship and effeminacy, should be removed.
That's such a weird connection.
I know. Honestly, I don't really see the connection.
No, neither do I.
Yeah.
But they're both in the same sentence here.
Yeah. So essentially what they're saying, so let's take a look at an example here. Here is a picture of Tarek. He is a gay League of Legends character.
Gonna be honest, he looks badass as hell.
He does look cool. So this is his Western appearance.
Oh, okay.
Now this is his Chinese appearance.
Oh, okay.
Totally different.
Yeah, I mean, it's a new character.
It is a new character, and if you look on the Western one, he has a very I guess if you want to call it effeminate, but he looks.
Honestly, it's just giving me kind of Doctor Strange vibes.
Yeah, you know what? I didn't think this was effeminate when I saw it, but it is compared to this one, where has heavy armor. He has a giant hammer. He's
The
fully
shield.
clothed with armor. Yeah. Where here, he's kind of like open and his pose. But I like the first one better. But
Same here.
but as you
This
can
one, but see,
see,
the second one actually, funny enough, to me, looks generic.
it does look generic. But it's because the artists were probably pissed that they had to make a generic version for China, and they just drew whatever.
Unfortunate.
But as you can see, gaming companies, they already know about this, right?
Okay.
And they're already, because this is an old character. So the question is, why are they doing this? And and in the article, so here it says, University of Hong Kong associate professor Gang Song told AFP that the crackdown is driven in part by the perception that effeminate men are physically weak and emotionally fragile, and thus unable to effectively defend the nation from threats. Gaming itself may also be seen by some leaders as contributing to a softening of character in young men. Lancaster University Chinese Studies senior lecturer Derek Hurd added. So, yeah, as you could see, it, they view
What do you want us to do?
yeah, they view
It's like read books. they're masculine.
yeah, read books and fight.
But only these books.
Yeah, go, take up boxing or something. Look, I'm gonna be honest here. I'm a lifetime gamer, right?
Yeah, same.
But you know me my whole life. I've always done masculine things.
Mm. Yes,
Yeah.
I'm kidding.
And so there's no connection if you know what I mean?
No.
Anderson Silva is a gamer, and he's one of the greatest fighters of all time.
I mean, let's be honest here. Gaming and masculinity are not intrinsically like attached.
No.
They don't correlate.
Yeah.
Like, just because you game doesn't mean that you're any more masculine or any less masculine.
Exactly.
This is a weird connection to make, and it's just the government imposing their view on culture and people.
Yes.
So if anything, this is insidious.
Yes, it's very insidious.
And it's incredibly unfortunate. And another thing on top of that, not to get into the weeds because we are trying to talk about gaming, but unfortunately, a lot of Western developers, like let's say Riot Games, or Western movie makers, I'm going to go ahead and go for the large one, like Marvel, Disney, they kowtow to the Chinese government and to China in order to make that money. The only way to hurt them is to hit that wallet.
Yeah.
And honestly, Western developers and even Eastern developers like in Japan and Korea have to stop kowtowing to China, and that's the only way to kind of that's a method of sanctioning.
Yes. And we want to be clear, Japanese and Korean are far less likely to do it than Americans.
Yes.
Americans, for whatever reason, are like American companies are like their kowtowing is pretty embarrassing in a lot of cases.
John Cena.
Yeah, John Cena. or as I saw online, they spelled it John Xina. John Cena. And
That's too much. That's
they
too
had
much.
a picture of him where he looked like Mao. He had the same haircut.
Oh
Yeah.
no. That's too much.
It is too much. Look, I like John Cena. I thought he was great in the new Suicide Squad movie. I love that movie. But
I did not like that movie.
Oh, you didn't? The new one?
No, neither.
Oh, okay.
Mike nor myself liked it.
Oh, I loved it. I thought it was cool.
Word.
But
No,
yeah.
But here's the thing. I'm going to be honest, and we're going to set the ground rules here. John
Yeah.
Cena actually has done a lot of good and a lot of philanthropic things.
Yes.
He has a strong anti-bullying stance that I admire.
Yeah.
Especially for such a large dude. Like he does play against stereotype in his day-to-day life.
Yes.
And I admire that. Now, what he did with the
It was
situation with the
embarrassing.
Suicide Squad
It was embarrassing.
is unfortunate, and that's
Yeah.
something that I think.
Oh, no,
shouldn't-
Fast and Furious 9.
Fast and Furious 9,
Fast
you're
and
correct.
Furious 9,
Pardon.
yeah.
And that's something that I think that we should have a more critical eye on going forward as things between the relations in China kind of deteriorate.
Yes. And, I want to say, though, if obviously no big-time developer is going to listen to anything we say, but if you're an indie developer, your audience, for the most part, is the United States, Europe, and Japan. You know what I mean? And South America, let's not forget them. But China, you can make games for them, But I would say don't put a bunch of effort into chasing that money because at the end of the day, they'll leave you out in the cold if you do something they don't like. And you know what I mean? You're expendable. You're expendable, right? But your true fans, you shouldn't you shouldn't strive or stray from them just to cash in some extra bucks somewhere else where it might not even work. Because like, let's say you're a company and you have a online game,
Yes.
and now your Chinese audience can only play 3 hours a week, and you're like, what the hell? I just spent millions and millions of dollars, altering my game, advertising in China, and now the kids, I lost half my audience like that because the government just didn't like it.
Yes.
So you're gonna get burned if you're trying to chase the money the whole time. You know what I mean?
Fair. Yeah.
So yeah, I just wanted to bring this up. It's unfortunate. I don't like to see attacks on,
Gaming and gaming culture and
sexuality, behavior, none of that. It's crazy.
Yeah. For what reason?
For what reason? Yeah. Just because someone thinks that gaming makes you weak,
Yeah. Who's that person?
Yeah, and where's the empirical evidence? You know what I mean? Where's the evidence that gamers are effeminate? I don't see it.
No. And what's wrong with being effeminate anyway?
Yeah.
That's all I'm saying.
Dude, look at all the WWE players who are hardcore into like fighting games.
Word.
You know what I mean? Like it's just look. They even say that certain games like first-person shooters, fighting games, boost your testosterone when you're in a competitive environment. Yeah. So who knows? It might make you more masculine.
I mean, they obviously haven't seen War Games.
Yeah.
Or heard of Ender's Game.
Yeah.
I'm kidding.
I know.
Let's move on.
All right. So next story. So this caught some, attention where it was a YouTuber, I believe, Austin Evans. He claimed that the new model was going to be weaker for the PS5 because it had a poorer cooling system.
Oh well, they lessened the size of the heatsink.
Yeah.
Correct, and then they also like kind of just moved the internals a little bit.
Yeah, they simplified the cooling system. Now we have more. I wouldn't call it evidence yet because I don't think anyone owns one of these new PS5s. Or actually, you know what?
Digital Foundry got their hands on it.
Yeah, Digital Foundry. Okay, so that's what this is about. So Digital Foundry, they actually ran a bunch of tests, and they basically said that, look, some things heated up. So let's take a look at this. Ledbetter points out that Sony hasn't just added a smaller heatsink, but it also has adjusted the main board in the base plate. The bullet point takeaway from days of testing are relatively straightforward. There's an improvement to temperature on the voltage regulators. Memory temperatures are better in some respects and worse than others, but still only a few degrees difference overall. And while the main processor may well be a few degrees hotter, there's no evidence that this presents anything worth worrying about. Assuming you are keeping your PS5 in a well-ventilated area, he concludes, yes, the cooler design in the new PlayStation 5 has been simplified in some respects, and yes, the internal temperature results suggest that while cooler in some cases, the machine can run hotter in others. The core question of whether the new PS5 is better or worse than the launch model can be answered by saying that they're mostly much the same, certainly in terms of end user experience. So there you have it.
Yeah.
Their conclusion is that you shouldn't really be worried about any difference between the two models. So I would say if you can get your hands on the new model, go for it.
Yeah. There's literally no. But then again, it's not so much of a difference where it's like whether you have the choice between the new model and the old model. You like it's a clear cut. Like you got to get the new model. It's more of like a cost saving measure on Sony's end in order to simplify the parts inside.
Yeah, and it happens to every PlayStation model. Yeah. Eventually, down the road, there's going to be a PS5 Slim.
I'm looking at your PS5 right now. You need to put that in a well ventilated area.
It's actually okay because if you look the back,
Oh,
there's a
now I see
window
it.
in the back. Yeah,
Oh, okay.
so the air flows freely out the back.
Okay, but I thought it flowed through the cupping mechanism. The
Yeah.
cupping mechanism.
So that's on the left side,
Yeah.
on the bottom, on the left
Oh,
side.
word?
Yeah, yeah.
Okay.
So it comes in there and it goes out the back.
Oh.
Now the
I
PS3,
sit corrected.
the PS3 down there, that one you really got to be careful about
Because it's the backwards compatible one.
yeah, but
Backwards
also
compatible to PlayStation 2.
if it doesn't get enough air, it starts like shaking and whining. So it's
So
like
it's like a pet.
yeah, it's like it really needs to be ventilated. But
I don't know, man. So much coddling.
I know. So yeah, there you have it. You don't have to worry about the new PS5 model being inferior.
Yeah,
So,
no,
yeah.
not at all.
All right, next up. This is something we covered before. So Yuji Naka has gone indie following Balan Wonderland disappointment. So I don't know if this is going to lead to anything, but this is a part of a statement he put out on Twitter. I've recently started learning how to program again, and I'm working on a single game for smartphones
Simple.
with Unity. I'm making it by myself, so it's not too much, but I'm enjoying programming. I hope you'll all be able to play with the app when it's available. Naka confirmed in June that he had left Square Enix, and he even considered retiring from game development altogether. Because of inquiries from the media and users, I can confirm I resigned from Square Enix at the end of April 2021, he wrote on Twitter at the time. So we covered this, and, you know, it was kind of sad because for a guy that's done so much for gaming,
Yeah, some prolific titles.
it would be horrible to see him go out that way. And it seems like he hasn't given up yet. Now, can he make like a compelling mobile game by himself? That remains to be seen. But I admire his guts. You know what I mean?
Yeah, and I mean he's very creative, so he'll probably think at least I'm assuming that he'll think something outside the box.
Yeah.
You know, something original, but also don't expect to get your nips blown off.
Yeah.
Pretty much. Like a lot of people, I think a lot of the disappointment in Balan Wonderworld was a lot of the expectation that was put on it, not just the game itself. At least that's my takeaway from that.
Yeah. It was supposed to be like Mario Odyssey.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Which I mean, already there, that's a heavy ask for a third party new IP.
Yes. Yeah.
Yeah. So I wish Yuji Naka the best.
Yeah, me too.
No, I mean, even if this doesn't come to anything, I'm happy that if he's happy,
Yes.
that's cool,
Yeah.
and that he doesn't let the intense amount of scrutiny that came out of Balan Wonderworld get him down.
Yeah. So yeah, there you have it. He is working on something small, and who knows if he enjoys it, if he finds something, if he can find like a premise or a mechanic, then he might bring in some other people and do a new project. So
Yeah.
we'll have to wait and see. Next up, I know you're gonna love this.
Ooh.
Konami's unannounced Castlevania Game Boy Advance Collection has been rated for consoles and PC.
Yes.
Taiwan joins Australia and Korea in rating Castlevania Advance Collection.
God, I love that art.
I know, right?
Yeah.
It's so nice.
Yeah. Ayami Kojima, y'all.
An unannounced Castlevania Game Boy Advance Remaster Collection has now been rated by a third games rating board. The Taiwan Entertainment Software Rating Information website has listed Castlevania's Advance Collection and rated it PG-12 for sex, violence, horror, and inappropriate language. It also lists the game's formats for the first time: Switch, PS4, Xbox One, and PC. Now, it's important to note here the fact that it's PS4 and Xbox One means that this thing has been in development and it's probably almost done or done.
Yes.
Because if it wasn't, they would rate it for the newer consoles as well. So it's probably already done. They're probably just waiting to release it now.
I mean, if these are ports, then yeah, they should have already been out by now, honestly,
Yeah.
because these games have been out on the Wii U. I played Castlevania. The last time I played Aria of Sorrow was like about a year or two ago, and that was on the Wii U. And honestly, these Game Boy Advance games, funny enough, on the Wii U, it's one of the best ways to play because that tablet screen, gorgeous. It's so beautiful and it's so vibrant.
Yeah.
Aside from, maybe like a third-party way, this is like the legitimate way of getting that game.
Yeah.
So I'm excited to see what they're going to be doing with this on the Switch, especially because I'm just akin to playing those games portably. If they did anything special with the consoles, I'd be interested to see what they do there too.
Yeah,
but I kind of doubt it.
Yeah. Yeah, so there's a lot of people that want this collection.
Dude, I'm one of them. Like I almost pre-ordered when Limited Run did their Castlevania collection, like the physical Castlevania collections that had the OG Castlevanias up until like, what was it? Super Castlevania 4, Dracula X, I believe. No, Bloodlines.
Yeah,
as
Bloodlines.
well. And I almost pre-ordered both because for PlayStation 4 and the Switch. I believe, only got them on PlayStation 4, so I can play them on PlayStation 5 though.
Yes.
But I did get the regular edition for the Switch as well, so that I can go ahead and play it portably whenever I want.
Yeah, that's a good move actually.
Because Sony are cowards and they won't make a Vita 2.
I know. Well, we have to.
I'm not talking about the financial.
Yeah.
But I love my Vita.
Yeah.
And honestly, it's such a great console that was just. There were some poor decisions, namely the proprietary memory card.
Yeah. If you guys go back in our show, we did an episode on why the PS Vita failed.
Yeah.
And it was a supposed insider who said that there was people inside Sony who were handicapping it because they didn't like it.
Well, not just that, because they had that big scare in terms of the
hack.
The hack, yeah, the big Sony hack of 2012?
2012, yeah. And that was they got in the PSN network.
And so they did a lot of security measures, one of which was that memory card being proprietary.
So stupid.
That did handicap the system.
Yeah. Look, every system gets hacked, right?
Yeah.
It's just
Eventually.
It's just a matter of if you have good security during its lifespan, then it won't get hacked until later. Like right now, the PS4 has been hacked, but it's towards the end of life. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. So don't do proprietary memory cards, man. We already got memory cards. We got SD cards. Just, don't do stuff like that.
Just looking at those things, I only have a 32 gigabyte memory card for my Vita, and I want to get a 64 gigabyte, but those prices are insane.
They're like $200-something dollars.
Exactly. They're the price of a Vita when it originally came out.
Yeah, I mean,
insane.
I did the...
Ooh, you got yours right here. Nice.
Yeah, so...
Nice hard shell case.
Yeah, this is a nice case.
Yeah.
You can find it on Amazon. So I was lucky.
It's on a pillow cushion.
I was lucky because when I ordered this one from Japan,
it's beautiful, by the way.
That's
the OLED, right?
Yeah, they didn't label it, but it came with a 32 gig.
Just saying, when that Switch comes out OLED style, Sony did it first.
Yeah. So I mean, the Vita is a great console. It's a shame that they just gave up on it like that.
Yeah,
it really is. All right. So next up, Valheim's new food system, which came out yesterday, has already been rebalanced. So Hearth and Home finally came out. I haven't played it yet. I haven't reset up my server, so I need to do that at some point. But I have a friend. He's been playing it. He loves it. He says the building options are drastically improved and expanded. Now, there was some controversy because the food system was changed a little bit. And the issue was that either you get too much health or you get a lot of stamina, but you don't get a balanced approach. So either you were running around exhausted or you were running around and getting one shot. Because you couldn't balance out your stamina and health.
So I haven't played Valheim, but I was actually hoping that you'd say you were running around too full. So you'd be slow, you're like, ugh, oh my gosh, you get the itis, you fall down, you sleep.
Yeah. No, in this game, you want to be full. So the new system for food is meant to give players more interesting choices when figuring out what to eat. Now foods will either replenish health or boost your stamina or provide a mix of both. However, a new hotfix released today rebalances just about all of that. Now, hit point foods will provide a bit more stamina, and stamina boosting foods will add some HP. So that I think that's the right move. The way the game works is you have to go out and harvest for meals.
Mm.
And it's a lot of time and effort. So you don't want to be out there hunting and gathering and then have to like have a very like limited way to keep your HP and your stamina up. Sometimes you need high stamina, but you don't want to be one shot by strong enemies around, right?
Yes.
And sometimes you need really high HP, but you need to be able to run and gun, you know, like if you're doing bow work or something like that.
Mhm.
So, yeah, I think this is the right move. And it's awesome that they did it like in a day.
It's pretty fast.
Or
Pretty
in
darn
a couple
fast.
days. Yeah, that's pretty fast. So I love Iron Gate Studios. I think they do a good job keeping Valheim up to date. And yeah, I'm looking forward to playing the new expansion.
Very cool.
So last up, Ren and Stimpy, they're going to be in Nickelodeon All-Stars. Ren and Stimpy's taunt stage, victory screen, and more revealed for Nickelodeon All-Star Brawl. So here's a video. We can't play it because every time I do that,
Copyright?
Yeah. So, but I'm going to put a link to this. You can go, or you can just like Google it. You should be able to find it. So this game, I wanted to talk about this game because it's very interesting how it's shaping up, right?
Mm.
So you have Smash Brothers, then you have a bunch of like clones, like Brawlhalla. That's like the Ubisoft one.
Yeah.
You have there's a bunch of other ones, and these are essentially just party fighters, right?
Yes.
They're designed for people to just pick up and play easily, play with your friends, play online. Now, obviously, Smash Brothers perfected this genre pretty much. It's been around forever. It's got the biggest, one of the biggest communities, and not just fighting games, in all of gaming.
Oh,
and
bigger than Call of Duty?
I would say, as far as like community goes, as like a tight knit community, I would say they have one of the biggest because Call of Duty is like you just have a lot of disjointed people. Yeah, I'm sure you have clans and stuff like that, but it's not like this like big overarching community where everyone just keeps up in touch with each other.
Word.
And goes to the same tournaments and so it's great, but Nintendo has been, I wouldn't say like all out waging war against them, but they have been making very hostile moves towards those communities.
Oh,
They've shut down a bunch of tournaments.
yes.
There was the Evo a few years back where they tried to get them to not play Melee. They
Mhm.
tried to say, you can't play Melee.
Well,
And
not the way they wanted to play.
not the way they wanted to play. But they've had a very heavy-handed approach with
Yes.
the Smash community.
I mean, they have a heavy-handed approach on their IP in general.
Yeah.
Like, yeah, they don't play games, and
Yeah.
the fact that we it was last year, I believe, that we were introduced to Nintendo Ninjas.
Yeah. Oh, that's so scary.
It's scary.
It's scary.
It's scary.
It's
They're
scary.
scarier than China.
Yeah. It is. It's very authoritarian, man. Yeah. It's corporate authoritarianism.
Yeah, exactly.
It's not government authoritarianism. It's corporate authoritarianism.
We're heading to Johnny Mnemonic.
Yeah. As we're talking now, I just saw somebody run by the window.
Yeah, exactly. Do a Naruto run.
Yeah.
You know, their hands behind. Yeah, exactly.
So yeah. But Nickelodeon All-Stars Brawl people are excited for it because one, Nickelodeon has so many IPs. They have so many characters. You know what I mean?
Yes. And there's an incredible amount of nostalgia tied to these characters.
Yeah. Now, I do got to say there is one pressing issue with the game right now.
Mm.
They have no voice acting.
What?
Yes. So
Okay,
when
okay.
you see the gameplay, it looks fun. It looks cool.
But no one says
No
it.
one says anything, and
That's weird.
it's very weird. So I would say if anyone's watching from that studio, you must add voice acting. That is a must because if you don't, the game's gonna look too generic. It's gonna sound too generic. It's gonna feel too generic. You want those iconic voices from
Even
those
worse,
characters.
it'll feel cheap.
It'll feel cheap, yeah.
No.
So you don't want a bunch of just like slapping sounds when characters hit each other or like popping noises.
Yeah.
You need the characters to have facial expressions and you need them to give out their iconic sounds.
Mm.
And that's one of the key charms to a game like Smash Brothers. It's not just that you get to play the characters you love, you get to experience their personality, you know? And if Nickelodeon All-Star is going to be successful, they have to put in the work to do that.
It's kind of like when you're introduced to a character. Well, not introduced to a character. Sorry, no, introduced to a long-standing character with a completely different voice actor. It just like it feels off.
Yeah, that's why the all the Marvel games don't hit that well, because when they all
Marvel
have
vs. Capcom
different.
2, though.
Yeah, no, I mean the new ones.
Oh,
The new ones
yeah.
where they have like each one has different actors and voice actors.
It's because they can't get the rights.
I know they can't get now.
That new Guardians of the Galaxy game looks pretty fun, though.
Yes.
But our Avengers, it looks so bizarre.
It looks so. It just looks too generic.
Yes.
It just looks too generic. And the game was a massive failure.
Unfortunately,
Unfortunately, it was a look. I don't like to. So this is a misconception people have. Saying a game is a failure
Doesn't mean you hate it.
doesn't mean you hate it.
Yeah, no.
It's just a factual thing. The game is a failure.
Yeah.
I went on Steam ratings or Steam. What is it? I forget the website. You can look it up. But essentially, it tells you how many active players it has, and it has graphs and all that stuff, and you can compare it with other games.
Yes.
Marvel Avengers has literally lost more players when they added new content. They actually, when they came out with new content, they actually lost more players, and their peak gameplay is like less than 2,000 players on Steam. Oof. Yeah, I mean, how can you not call that a failure?
I know I brought this up before, and we're kind of going on a tangent here, but I'm just going to say this again because where my homie's at, I wish Square Enix was, I mean, I don't know if there's some kind of like rule or anything, but when Kingdom Hearts came out, that blew my nips off.
Yeah.
And I'm a diehard Kingdom Hearts fan. Love it. Live it. I loved Kingdom Hearts 3. It's a little bit more controversial. But I played like practically all of them. Mm-hmm. That being said, that's Square Enix's take on Disney properties. Yes. As well as making it their own.
Yes.
That's what I wanted with Avengers, with Marvel in general. When I heard Square Enix and Marvel together, I was like, yes.
You thought of Kingdom Hearts.
I thought of Kingdom Hearts in terms of going somewhere else with it. Yes. Being creative and giving me something new with the property that I didn't expect. I'm not saying I wanted exactly Kingdom Hearts.
Yeah.
I'm saying I wanted something fresh and new.
Put your spin on it.
An Eastern view on a Western property.
Yes.
That's what I was looking for. And then when I heard that they gave it to their Western developers that they have under their umbrella, Crystal Dynamics and Eidos Montreal for Guardians of the Galaxy, I was really disappointed.
Yeah.
And as much as like I hope that Guardians of the Galaxy is a good game, I like Eidos Montreal as a developer. I really enjoyed Deus Ex.
Yeah.
You know, it's not exactly what I wanted.
Yeah, you were hoping for a true Square Enix spin on it.
Exactly. Yeah. When you hear Square Enix, you don't hear, oh yeah, Tomb Raider.
Yeah, which is why
which they own.
Yeah,
I mean, but still, I don't go there. I go to Final Fantasy, and I go to Dragon Quest. Do something crazy with that.
Look at a developer like I'm trying to think of a good one, Insomniac.
What they did with
Spider-Man. Yes,
I still need to play it.
Dude.
I know it's great.
After I beat Ratchet and Clank, the new one, which You gotta play. It's
need to play
so good.
Yes.
After I played that, I immediately knew that I was missing out on Spider-Man.
Word?
Yeah.
So did you play Spider-Man?
Not yet. Not yet.
I knew I was missing out, but not enough to start.
No. I'm trying to beat The Messenger right now on Switch.
Oh, I love that
It's
game.
a very hard game.
It's so hard. I actually broke a controller on that game.
Yeah. I actually bought a physical Switch copy, which was over $200, because that's how rare the game is right now.
Wait a second. Did you buy like that collector's edition joint with the katana?
No, just the regular version. Yeah.
Wow.
That's how rare the Switch version is.
I did not know. Yeah. Oh my gosh.
Yeah. So if you have a physical copy of Messenger, hold on to that bad boy because
and that's a great game. That's a fantastic
amazing game.
It's so good.
You know, I just beat Cyber Shadow before that, which is also incredible.
I do want to get that game along that. Yeah.
But the Messenger is also incredible. So
how would you rate the two?
I would say Cyber Shadow is...
Isn't it more like twitchy, like fast? Well, they're both fast-paced.
Yeah, they're both fast-paced. Cyber Shadow is more...
The Messenger has that humor, though.
Yeah. Cyber Shadow has it, too.
Oh,
but
word?
it's more like ridiculous, subtle humor.
Oh.
Or maybe it wasn't meant to be funny, but I thought it was funny. But Cyber Shadow is more like... It takes itself very seriously in points, but the thing that I love about Cyber Shadow is the very fluid and slick movement and gameplay and the addition of new attributes and abilities.
That and Katana Zero, those are two games that I still have yet to play.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm waiting for Cyber Shadow to get a physical.
Yeah.
And same with Katana Zero, to be honest, actually.
But the Messenger, yes, you're right. The humor.
Yeah.
But also
that switching between NES / SNES.
Yes.
Game. So good.
NES and the SNES. Whereas I would say Cyber Shadow is more SNES.
Word.
The Messenger, and I love the sound effects for the Messenger.
Oh,
They're very NES-esque.
Yes. Well, the thing that killed me was literally the extra challenges that they had. Like, there's a lot of extra challenges.
Getting the green coins.
Yeah, exactly. That's what murdered me. That's what made me throw my controller in frustration and break it and be like upset for a second and then sad for another and then putting my money into another controller.
Yeah, so I'm about 8 hours in, so I'm getting close to the end.
Awesome. Yeah, no.
But yeah,
fantastic game.
But yeah, Insomniac Games, excellent use of Marvel
IP
and turning it into their own game. So
flip coin, EA and their use of Star Wars IP, not as hot.
Yeah, not as hot.
Except for maybe Jedi Out, or what was it called? Jedi.
Oh, the Fallen Order.
Fallen Order, yeah, that's it.
That was actually very well done.
Really
a lot of people love that game.
Yeah.
And actually, you know what? The Rogue Squadron, I know the diehards didn't like it, but a lot of people did like it, actually. To be fair, a lot of people did like it.
Well, it's just that, like, the old school Rogue Squadrons were amazing.
They were more complex games.
That had full campaigns. Same thing with Battlefront.
Yeah.
EA just lifted that name, but Battlefront back in the day was the hotness. And they just haven't gotten to that kind of content. Now they're just like, it's kind of like, it's very beautiful.
It's very rushed.
It looks sleek, but the heart and the content is not there.
It's very
and you're being
rushed,
nickel and dimed into everything.
Now, I have covered it on this show. There is a Rogue Squadrons mod that basically turns it into the old one. So you can, or no, I'm sorry. It turns the old one into a new one. Yeah, I'm sorry. I got that
beautifies?
reversed. Yeah, I got that reversed.
Oh, that's nice.
Yeah, it beautifies the old one. So if you want...
Oh, I see your copy of Kingdom Hearts 3 right there.
I know. So if you want to play the old one, but you want like a newer look like Rogue Squadrons, there's a mod out there.
But anyways, we got to go back to the topic at hand, which was Nickelodeon and their use of the IPs in this fighting game.
Yeah.
Bring in the voice actors. To give it that extra bit of life that these kinds of games need in order to sustain a fan base, because that's what people kind of gravitate towards.
Yeah, it would be hilarious to hear the Ren and Stimpy sound effects.
I wasn't that kid. I actually didn't like Ren and Stimpy back
It was gross.
Yeah, it was too gross.
You had to like
animation.
You had to like extremely gross humor.
Yeah,
because it was all farting and
I was
barking.
a huge fan of Rocko's Modern Life.
Yeah,
I'm still waiting for them to unveil Blue's Clues as a fighting game character.
Yeah.
And like every version of Steve to like
Yeah.
just like Mega Man from Super Smash Brothers.
Yeah.
They should do like that with like every version of Steve.
Yeah.
Or you know what I mean.
Yeah. So I'm looking forward to it. I'm probably gonna buy it, but add voice acting. That's what we want to say. So yeah, that's it for this week. I'm glad we're back.
Yeah, that's fun.
And I do.
Thanks for having me back.
Yeah, no problem, man. You're part of the show. And I do want to say to everyone out here who watches the show, thank you. We've been getting new subs while I haven't been putting up content because people are finding our old videos and yeah. And it's a very slow growth, but it's a growth nonetheless.
We
So
just needed to take a small break just
Yeah.
for the move. That's it.
Just subscribe if you enjoy it, and share it with people. That's the biggest way to spread
And
it.
comment and let us know
Yeah.
what you like, what you don't like, what you agree with, what you don't agree with.
Yeah.
Start the conversation.
And also, I'm gonna start putting up funny gaming compilations. And
You just did one last week.
yeah, I did last week. So if you like those, also comment and let me know what
Game you'd like to see.
what game you like to see or what kind of content you like to see from us. Because we don't want to just do this. We want to do other stuff too. So let us know. And keep on gaming.
Keep on gaming. Take care, y'all.
Hey everyone, thanks for listening to this episode of Games I Speak. If you liked the episode, please like and subscribe, and we'll see you all next time.